Drones can fly over restricted areas, give us view of very dangerous locations, and even save us from terrific accidents. We can attach a camera with a drone and see certain unbelievable things, like an enormous foot or a strange child with dark black eyes staring on the world. Interesting views and convenience with which we can enjoy incredible things, that's the reason why we adore the drone. Today we'll show you a few really astonishing scenes which no one would have seen if not captured by drones. Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more such amazing content. Number 10. Drone captures sinking ship. A freighter surrounded by over 200 boats having a length of 180 feet slipped and drowned about 100 feet deep below the surface. It was originally built in 1965 and in 2018 it was confiscated by the US Customs and Border Protection authorities in Miami during a drug bust operation. The ship got a new life after sinking and formed part of an artificial reef off the shore of Florida. You may be wondering what an artificial reef is. You may be aware that Florida is known to be one of the best diving destinations in the world. Authorities have made elaborate efforts to form artificial reefing projects which are aimed at promoting tourism and opportunities created for developing wildlife habitats. Crystal clear waters of the region contribute enormously toward thriving of diving and ecological tourism industry. The surprising drowning of this freighter is within the ambit of Florida's extreme love for intentional sinking of large ships and merchant vessels off the coast. We can see the logic behind this and the practical intention of sinking boats there. For this purpose, boats are loaded with sufficient weight and gravity pulls them down. Pumping of water in its hull by the adjacent vessels reduces the stability of the boat, and the process is made easier by employing certain boats made specially for the purpose. Gradually, the ship keeps tilting, leading to a drowning, and subsequently sinks as well as settling in the crystal clear water of Florida. Guys, it's a really nice arrangement. Number 9. Drone flies into tornado. A tornado is a sort of vicious cyclone or twister. Dorothy saw a wonderful scene over a family farmhouse. It's very important and especially personal moment to see an immaculate drone flying into the eye of the storm. It seems to be one of the astonishing incidents and fascinating wonders from nature. This phenomenal moment of a windstorm was captured by a team of extreme weather fans while their tour crossed the severe heat in Oklahoma. Generally, speed of tornadoes is less than 110 miles per hour, diameter approximately 250 feet across, and dissipates after covering a few miles. Despite being comparatively of low speed and size, tornadoes still prove to be terribly dangerous and unpredictable. Just think, what would be the fate of someone who's aboard a truck waiting on the highway, or a house which comes in the way of twister battering everything coming in its way? In the video, we can vividly see the cyclone getting less dense and finally fading away. The sight of a tornado was unforgettable for the people of the area, but fortunately, due to its lesser density and speed, nobody was harmed. Number 8. The Pripyat drone footage. Pripyat is a snowy but serene-looking city located in Ukraine, but its history is quite frightening. It has been the site of the most notorious and devastating nuclear accident in the human history, which took place on April 26, 1986. The accident occurred at Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine, which was then part of erstwhile Soviet Union. As the drone moves around, lowers to cover properties and industrial area, there seems as if nobody is present there. The nuclear accident commenced with a powerful explosion which continued to burn for 9 days and resulted in much more radiation than released by the atom bomb, which was exploded at Japanese city of Hiroshima. Radiation affected an area of about 150,000 square miles, which included parts of Ukraine, Belarus and Russia. Since the time of the explosion, at least 5 million people have been exposed to radiation and badly affected. The footage we're watching reminds us that haunting and terrifying accident was real. What all is visible in the footage is extremely contaminated by the toxic nuclear radiation. A reason for satisfaction is that so far human beings are not permitted to reside in these areas. However, many other animal species have settled in the area, which include brown bears, foxes, bison, lynx, deers, moose, beavers, badgers, wild boar, raccoons and almost over 200 species of bird, as well as wide varieties of amphibians and fish. Slowly and gradually the area is once again returning to life, but it may take quite some time to be fully inhabited. Number 7. China's forgotten bike graveyards. The Chinese population is more than 1 billion people, which hardly permits everyone to own a vehicle for convenience, as it would require a lot of space, particularly on the roads. Ultimately, bicycle sharing is the most suitable option. Accordingly, rental companies have flooded the streets of cities with millions of rental bicycles. Rapid growth in demand of bicycles has really outpaced the supply. Resultantly, Chinese regulations and development of infrastructure fail to handle the critical issue. The question arises how these numerous bicycles will be disposed of or dealt with in the end. Well, these huge piles of bikes in their thousands are the answer. There are such enormous piles of bicycles located in all major cities of the country. Unluckily, Chinese taxpayers will have to bear the expenditure for cleaning the mess. This detestable situation is a result of bike companies' disproportionate manufacturing of bikes. Too many bicycles too soon. A drone footage captured the scenes of surplus bicycle dumps which are collecting dust, rust and adding to the misery. Number 6. Incredible deep-sea turtle nesting. You would know that green turtles are found mostly in tropical and subtropical seas. They cover a large distance while migrating from their birthplaces to the feeding grounds along the beaches where they merge with the background. Recently, researchers have been able to capture an adorable footage comprising thousands of green turtles gathering along the edge of the Australian Great Barrier Reef during nesting season. Watch the movement of these amazing turtles. This is the largest congregation of green turtles in the world, located around Rain Island, which is a vegetated coral key. It's located about 385 miles away northwest of Cairns. Scientists noticed with concern that despite enormous gathering of the turtles, they were not resorting to the reproduction process as expected out of this mass of population. It's probably due to unsuitable environment covering inhospitable terrain and extreme nest flooding. This species is under dire threat due to over-harvesting of their eggs, falling prey to fishing implements, frequent hunting, and loss of nesting sites. After resorting to a number of protective measures to support these struggling creatures, scientists decided to monitor their population through aerial means. Drones became the most preferred solution. A monitoring team revealed that approximately 64,000 turtles wading along the island laid the eggs along the beaches. They also decided to automate the system by counting the images obtained through video footage with the help of artificial intelligence. This immensely improved their population tracking efforts. Number 5. Crazy Museum Sinkhole. This Kentucky museum has developed a large sinkhole below it. Do you think it's one museum like so many others? No guys, it's a bit special, as it displays the history of a classic car, the Corvette, or colloquially known as the Vette. Corvette is a sports car meant for 2 people and has 2 doors. It was designed, produced and marketed by a well-known company, Chevrolet. It reigned over the market for over 60 years, having 8 design generations. In this footage you can watch a classic Corvette from the National Museum that plummeted and fell to the end of the sinkhole, having an approximate depth of 100 feet and a width of 30 feet. Fortunately, none of the staff or visitors was hurt during the formation of the hole. However, Vette lovers all over the world would be disappointed. You might have come across a lot of automobile accidents, but this one is unique as to have a costly, pristine classic car laying in the debris. Besides the efforts and money required for the repair of the sinkhole, the cost of these precious cars was estimated to be in the millions of dollars. Kentucky engineers took it upon themselves to exhibit their expertise and prowess. They built the new exhibit much better than the previous one. On completion of the work, for commemorating the disastrous incident, they also built a showcase for the classic cars which plunged into the sinkhole and also marked the outline of the enormous sinkhole as well as where the cave is. The National Corvette Museum is situated in an area termed the Cursed Region by geologists. It has springs and caves underneath. Therefore, we must be mindful that the sinkhole in Kentucky is a bit extraordinary. Number 4. The Tianjin Blast Site. In August 2015, 2 consecutive explosions took place within a short span of 30 minutes in the industrial facility located in the northern port city of Tianjin, China. The enormity of the second explosion can be gauged from the fact that it involved the detonation of about 800 tons of ammonium nitrate, which was almost equivalent to over 250 tons of dynamite. The explosions were followed by the uncontrollable chain reaction of fires, leading to 8 more blasts. The calamity continued for over 3 days and rocked the region. Site of the incident was actually a warehouse building. used for storage of hazardous chemicals like calcium carbide, sodium nitrate, and potassium nitrate. Officials controlling the facility failed to adhere to safety regulations, whereas the residents of the city were completely unaware of the looming threat. This footage taken by a drone amply exhibits the epoch size and massive devastation brought by the immense blast. It's quite clear that the devastation was unprecedented. Twisted metals, buildings razed to the ground and smoke still billowing make us visualize the enormity of the explosion. The blast was so gigantic it could be observed from space. Windows of buildings were flown miles away. Out of 15 million residents of the port city, hardly anyone wasn't affected by the calamity. No doubt the Tianjin explosion must have proved to be a mammoth task for the rescue workers and first responders. It left a legacy of burnt cars and proved to be the antithesis of thriving businesses. In fact, one feels at a loss to select the right words to actually describe the gruesome accident. Number 3. Bigfoot caught on drone. People have been interested in knowing about Bigfoot for a long time. In the recent past, a video floated on the internet that captured a Bigfoot. Do you think there was a real Bigfoot where people were flying drones? One may consider it to be a fine-tuned synthesis caught by the camera from miles away. Drone flyers in Suffolk State Park in Ohio, while twisting the camera fixed in their unmanned aerial vehicle to catch a view from different angles, passed close to an image seemingly to be a Bigfoot. Bigfoot has been considered to be an enduring hoax by some people. Accordingly, this drone shot footage also invited the same criticism on the internet. Some people have even accused the officials of the state park for planting the Bigfoot, as normally they don't permit people to fly drones over the premises of the park. Well, the incident led to a heated controversy. Number 2. Mexican Desert Plantation. If you're flying randomly in a plane over a desert in Mexico, you would find a mysterious patch as if to hide something. Military personnel found a marijuana plantation hidden under black cloth in the center of the Baja Desert in California. This field, with an area of about 300 acres, is the largest plantation discovered in Mexican history so far. It's approximately 4 times larger than the plantations found in the past by the government authorities. It's known that farmers use big black cloths commonly to protect crops from intense sun, but in this specific area no plantation or field was supposed to be there. It was actually discovered when troops on the ground approached this particular location. They found the area covered with a large number of cannabis plants and about 60 workers busy in tending the crop. Owners had installed a quite sophisticated piped irrigation system for watering the plants. More surprising was the fact that of tunnels having lengths of over 2,000 feet connected Santiago with Mexico. These were well equipped with lighting, delineation and rail system. In other words, a lot of planning and effort had been put in. If you have a look on the map, you'd realize that it would be quite dangerous, as drug traffickers could potentially harvest from the plantation and transport about 120 tons of green material across worth $160 million. Luckily, the plantation has been discovered in time and will be destroyed by the government officials. Number 1. The Black-Eyed Girl. I think hardly anyone dislikes listening to spooky ghost stories. However, it involves a drone, a green field, and adorable mysterious apparition in the corner of the forest. It seems to be a real epic thriller which you might be able to witness in a nearby theatre. The presence of a black-eyed girl, which originated in England, would be a great idea for a Hollywood blockbuster movie, or it may just be considered an urban myth. Whispers about the black-eyed girl have been circulating for years. A psychic claimed to come face-to-face with a black-eyed child and described in the review that the phenomenon was to be attributable to the diphtheria outbreak in the 1800s. Researchers thought the event was so unfortunate that it could make people believe it. If the analogy is accepted as real, one need to believe the idea. It's said that the plague during the Victorian era was so devastating that it caused paralysis in the victims' eyes, which made their sockets look sunk in. Some people also speculate and relate the appearance of a black-eyed girl to the murder spree of the 1960s. It's perhaps believed that black-eyed people appeared all over the globe. There had been certain reports in USA citing incidents of black-eyed people knocking at their doors and frightening them. They're also heard screaming from a distance to scare people. But it won't be scarier than the footage caught by the drone, and people rushed to Cannock Chase in a hope to have a real encounter with a black-eyed ghost. However, they were not fortunate enough. We hope you've enjoyed the events captured by drones. Do dedicate a few moments of your precious time to click the like button and subscribe to our channel.